Welcome now to animation 3.4D. It's good one.
Good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. If you saw the show from Anime Carib, then you would have known that I drew this monkey here, and what I'm trying to do is take a voice file and then animate the monkey so that it's talking in some sort of lip sync to the voice file. So what we're going to do first is try and prepare it in Photoshop. What I'm going to do is, I noticed that part of the monkey's mouth was not complete here, so when I come to fill it, I say mouth, it looks more like a beak, but there you go. Remember, I cannot draw. Alright, so I'm going to try and make the monkey look a bit more monkey-fied by just changing its color slightly. Alright, so there we go. Getting a bit monkey-ish already. You can't have a monkey with white ears. Fill in the ears as well. Probably a slightly darker color. Sorry, lighter color for the mouth. Alright. Looks a bit like Homer Simpson, doesn't it? Can't draw. Right, so what I'm going to do is copy this layer and I'm going to remove the background as well. Then I'm going to make a I'm going to make a new layer again for the mouth. I'm just going to draw around, say, the inside of the mouth. As well as I can. I'm not too good at this, as you can probably tell. Alright, so Control C, Control V. Alright. Didn't need to make the mouth layer. Alright, so this is the mouth layer. I'm going to change this to teeth, because we want some teeth. Want to give him some teeth. Make it look as realistic as possible, which is highly unlikely. Right, bring that down a bit. For the teeth, what I'm going to do is just draw around the outline of the mouth, the top part here. I'm going to draw some lines. Where I'm going to take a bucket tool, just give him some teeth in there. Alright, and I'm going to put this layer under the mouth. Alright, so what's going to happen is when we move this layer in photo, you see he's got his teeth there, but when you do that in After Effects, it's not going to move up and down like that. It's going to actually swivel at the anchor point of the jaw, so it's going to look like he's talking in time to the voice file, like that. It's going to look very rough, but something like that. Right, so the sound file that we're going to use is going to be something like, "Hey soldier, what happened? Give me a doubles now, boy. I ain't moving, so what happened?" Yeah, so we're going to use something like that. Right, so as you can see, I've got the monkey here in After Effects. We got it all in separate layers. Whoops, we have the monkey's lower jaw, we have the audio file. I've got two actual monkey jaws, I'll tell you about that in a bit. I've also got a separate layer for the teeth and the actual monkey itself. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use an expression on one of the monkey's jaws. Right, that's how I decided I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna use the wiggle expression to make the monkey jaw look like it's moving. As I say, like I'm using no other plugins, just After Effects for this. So it's going to look very rough. The ones later on are going to look better when I actually start using the plugins that I've got, or slightly more realistic. But alright, this first monkey jaw, which I've is in yellow, I'm gonna look at the rotation. So I'm going Alt, click on the stopwatch, right, and I'm gonna type in wiggle bracket, let's try 2020 vision. Alright, right, so that should wiggle like that. Right, not very good, but as I say, I don't really care. I just want to get the idea. This is just to give you an idea of how we can make it look sort of like speech. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this layer appear when there's audio going on from this wave file. All right, so how I'm going to do that is I'm going to, for example, make a keyframe here, then go to the end of this and make a keyframe here. All right, then move on a little bit, keyframe here, keyframe here, keyframe here. Right, now when I go back to the beginning and the keyframe here, right, so this is going to be 0, this first keyframe, because there's no sound here. This is going to be 100 as it is. Right, go to the next one, that's going to be 100. That I'm going to bring that down to 0 because there's no audio. This one again down to 0. The next one should be 100, and then so on. All right, so you're going to see this layer here whenever there's audio. That's the wiggle one. So whenever that's, oh, no audio, see the audio coming in, he's on, then he goes off. All right, so I'm going to finish that and then I'll get back to you. Right, so we've got all our keyframes in for the top jaw, as you can see here. So we'll click on the opacity here, we'll go to edit, that's the opacity of the top jaw, edit, copy, then we go to the first key point there, click on the opacity of the bottom jaw, go to edit, paste. All right, make sure you deselect the highlighted keyframes. Right, so we're here we want the next keyframe there, the first keyframe, to be at 100. Right, then the next one, because he's talking, we don't want to see that jaw, so that's 0. So basically now everything is going to be the reverse of what it is. Make sure it's on 100. Alright, speech, so we don't want to see that. That's the end of the speech, don't want to see that. Opacity 0, next one should be opacity 100. Right, so if we just scrub through there, alright, so he's not talking. Right, So we don't see no teeth. Talking teeth, not talking, no teeth, talking teeth. All right, so we just continue doing that, and then I'll get back to you. You've finished putting all the keyframes on both of your jaws. So when we scrub through this timeline, you can see that it's going perfectly right through. When I say perfectly, not perfectly, because look at that. All right, where is it? All right. Right, see that? That doesn't look too good at all. So what we'll do there is we'll go to the anchor point of the top jaw. We'll try and get it in as best position as possible. Right, so it's going to look more like that, which is slightly better. Still rubbish, but it's just to give you an idea of how to do a quick cartoon, I suppose. So we've got our practically finished monkey. We've moved the anchor point to make it a bit more realistic. What we're going to do is we're going to render this out to a solid, perfectly green background. Just makes it easier for editing or chroma keying, really. Alright, so go ahead and do that, render it out, and then we'll try and make it even more realistic. Okay, so we've got our final a recently rendered monkey with the green background. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new solid with the same color as this background here. Send it to the back. We've also got our audio file. Alright, so when we scrub through here, we see he's talking. Can't hear him because it's After Effects, not really very good on audio After Effects. One thing I don't like about it, it's so frustrating, you can't hear the audio, you got to do the preview. But anyway, he's talking, but it's just like his mouth moving. When you talk, when I talk, our heads move, you know, so let's try and make his head move as well. Alright, so we'll go to the puppet tool and we'll make one for his neck, just to cover the bases here. Whoops, that's on the wrong layer. Make sure we're on the actual monkey itself. Alright, so puppet tool, one for the neck, one for the base there, another for the base. We'll go back to the neck, and it's puppet pin number 1. What we want to do here is where we're talking, we're going to get some head movements going. So, going to create keyframes for where we know there's definitely speech. Alright, and we're doing that by looking at the audio file again. That's why I've got the audio file on. I'll delete that after, because you don't need that after. It's already got an audio file in the video, but we can't see it. Alright, so there we go with all those keyframes. Right, now so let's say we go back to here somewhere. We go to that pin. Let's go on there just to be safe. We go on this pin here. We'll move this, say there, say back there. It seems to be doing a lot of talking there, so not too much there. We'll just put a few in the middle of these. All right. When I say the middle of where he's talking. So there's 2 keyframes here. We'll just throw in a few keyframes around abouts. And I'm just telling you, it will just look more realistic like this than if he was totally still. His head was totally still when he wasn't talking. Alright. Let's do something a bit ridiculous there. You can even throw in a few because even when we're still, we move. So throw in, say, 1 in the middle there, just to give it a bit more realism. Alright, but as you scrub through, at least we've got more of a moving head. Hey soldier, one. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use a plugin now called Sound Keys from Red Giant, and yeah, I love Sound Keys. It's so invaluable.
Right now the place up.
It enables me to do stuff like this.
Feel that breeze. Right behavior, please. If you look around you, everybody inside the head, they just say,
in my tool set there for After Effects. It's from redgiant.com. Check them out. They've got a vast array of various plugins for After Effects. So we're going to use our original animation that we used previously. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to delete this expression, the wiggle expression. If you didn't have any joy, if you think, because like looking at it, his mouth is moving a bit too fast, what you can do if you want is you could adjust this. Like this is for the amount, the first figure 20 here is for the amount of times per second. So like if we was say to drop that down to say 7, and this one here is the percentage. The percentage I just threw in 2020 just to see what happens. Say if we go down to 15 on this one, because remember it's only a small angle that the mouth opens. If we was to use like a 100 for example, your mouth doesn't naturally go like that. So we'll try it with 7 and 15, see how that works. It's a bit slower. Yeah, so what you can do is you could adjust these figures in the wiggle. If you was going to use the previous version, you can play around with those figures and see what's best. So what we're going to do is delete this. So we're removing that expression. We're going to add a new solid. All right, it's composition size. We're going to move that down to the bottom. And then apply, see it's in the trap code section, we're going to apply sound keys to it. Alright, now let's solo this for the time being. We're going to select the audio file from the audio layer, and as we scrub through we'll see that there's a spectrum analyzer of the audio file. What we do is these are the 2 points here of range 1. There's 3 ranges in all, but we're only going to use the 1. To activate the others you just click active, and you can move those dials, those indicators as you wish. But yeah, we're just going to try and get a range. Alright, so down here is 0, up here is 100. So as you see, where there's no audio it's on 0, where there's audio it's not quite 100, but well, we don't want his mouth to go, you know, so that should do us. All right, so what we'll do is on the fall off we'll make it exponential, and on the output minimum maximum we'll make it custom. Right, yeah, let's try let's see how that goes. So we'll try -6 and 20. So we'll unsolo that. Blue solid, so we get the thing. Click apply. And there we go. Very, very quick and easy to use in sound keys or with sound keys. You can decide which one was better. We're going to try a third one now. Okay, the third rendition of this animation, we're going to be using a plugin called Auto Lip Sync from MamoWorld.com. MamoWorld.com. First time I'm actually using this plugin, but it's specifically for lip syncing. So what we're going to do is, again, we're going to use the original. Animation. We're just going to delete that expression there. All right, so this should be just the original keyframes, open and close there. What we're gonna do is, we've already installed it, so we're just gonna go to Windows and then find Auto Lip Sync. All right, so I'm just going to use the basic settings of this. So very quickly it goes to what we got to do is we got to make sure that we're on the monkey. All right, and then create the mouth rig. All right, so for that we'll just move this pointer here, this pointer here. It will go through a number of steps, but as I say, we're going to use the basic settings and see how it does. Straight in mouth, we're not going to worry with that. As I say, everything is default settings. Let's see how that does. Right, default settings. All right, and what we have to do is we don't need this monkey jaw anymore, so we're going to delete that, and then we're going to put the teeth below monkey full. Yeah, right. We can also increase the scale of the teeth slightly, just so it looks more professional. What you'd have to do as well is probably have some kind of mask so you don't see the background here, because obviously there's not a hole in your mouth, but that gives you an idea of the monkey talking using Mamo World Auto Lip Sync very, very quickly. As I said, that was the absolute basic setup, and you can adjust it accordingly. Just look at the tutorials. It's got some good tutorials on that site. The plugin costs around $39 US. Check it out. All right. I hope to get back to TT and speak to Camille. If not, hopefully the real idea is to talk to some of the students that we previously interviewed, if not some new students, and just ask them how they would have animated this monkey talking, what techniques they would have used in After Effects. I presume they're using After Effects for their projects. We'll see. We hope to get down to UTT again at the JD campus in Port of Spain. Thank you for watching. Hey soldier, what happened? Give me a doubles now, boy. I ain't moving, so what happened? Yeah, so we're going to use something like that.
Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, out of all 3 methods that we tested, we found Mamo World Auto Lip Sync to give the best results for lip syncing. And remember, this was all the default settings, all the basic settings. So check it out, mamoworld.com. It's $39 USD. So bye bye.